Hey fellow backyard warriors, Nick here. Today we're going to be making a string. It's a simple string. We're going to be making a continuous or endless loop string. It's called that just because the string material, as you can see here, this is all one strand. It simply goes around through the loops, back and forth, however many times. So this type of string is, pretty decent. I prefer the counter twist or blemish strings because, in my opinion, they look a little nicer. But they shoot a little slower. These are easier to make once you get the technique down. I can make about 3 to 4 of these in the time it takes me to make a counter twist string. It just depends on what you've got the feel for. Now, this string is made out of the Dacron fishing line I showed you guys in my breaking strength video, and it works really well. But today I'm going to be showing you, we're going to be making a string. I'm going to be using the V50 Dacron because a lot of people have been asking. This is just the standard string material you can get for long bows and older recurves and self bows. I use it a lot for the PVC pipe bows. You could use other materials, and if you check the comments, I'll have some guidelines on what other string materials you can use and how to modify my instructions to suit those. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your string material, of course. One kind of requirement is we're going to need our string material to be fairly thin, like the fishing line here, because what we're going to be doing is the way I make a continuous loop string, I don't know, it's the way that works for me. I'm not sure if it's the right way. It's definitely not the only way. But I don't tie any knots. I don't do any splices. The only thing that's holding this string together is the tension of the serving and the wax I have on here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your string material. I'm using a pair of scissors. You can use a knife. Beeswax. You can pick beeswax up at a lot of places. A lot of craft stores carry it. A lot of health food stores carry it. I get sometimes if I'm in the area I get it from Whole Foods, or there's a sort of a health food store that I go sometimes that carries it. I know the local woodworking supply store carries it. A lot of hardware stores carry it, and it's used a lot as a wax type lubricant for drawer runners. I like using beeswax. If you can get bowstring wax, that works as well. You just need something that's going to lock the string together. Typical candle wax, like paraffin wax, is not sticky enough. It actually has more of a lubricating quality. So instead of holding your string together, your string will actually come apart more readily. On top of that, you're going to need some serving thread and a string server. You can use the string server that I show how to make in my string server video. That one actually works a lot better than this one because of the tolerances of the jig. This one requires a little more work. But if you guys want, I can show you guys how to make one of these, though it may take a while to upload it. I just made this one on a whim just because I wanted something that was a little faster. But if you go back and look at my video on how to make a string server, that one's a lot better for what we're doing today. Then you're going to need something to measure with. So the first thing we're going to need is, like I've said before, I don't really use jigs a lot, and my string jig here is pretty minimalist. I don't really have anything fancy. What I have here is a 2x2, a pine 2x2 that's 8 feet long. And all I've done is, if you can see, I've drilled 2 holes on this end. Doesn't matter how far apart they're spaced. 2 inches is a good distance. What I've done is I've put a I think it was a 10 pennyweight duplex nail here, just because I like this little top section. It allows the string to stay in this spot and it doesn't go all over the place. And then I just put I think it was an 8D nail here. And then what you want to do is you basically want to measure down your jig. I've only got these drilled out because these are the most common sizes that I use on my bows. And then I've also got, for longer strings up here. What you want to do is you want to measure, so this is going to be basically how long your string is. So the first thing you want to do is figure out what kind of bow. What I suggest is, if you're making 4-foot long bows, start at about 48 inches and then go down about 10 inches. That'll give you a good range. So today we're going to be making a string for this bow. This bow is similar to the stovetop flattened horse bow we did. It's a 40-pound bow. What you want to do is, like I said, you need your measuring device. Measuring tape works well. What we're going to do right now is we're going to find out the length of this bow. So what you want to do is you want to start measuring right under the string loop here. You want to bring the measuring tape down one limb across the belly of the bow. Once you get about here, then you want to actually just, if you've got any dips or anything on your riser, you can kind of ignore it. And then go down to the other side. This doesn't have to be too exact because each string is going to be a little bit different depending on the type of material you're using. Your bow is going to be different because of the amount of tension it gives the string at brace and all these different things. I don't really make my strings exact to the bow. I make them generally around what I need, and then I twist the string to get it in line with what I want. That's how I do it. And it's probably not the most consistent method, but I like it. Alright, so here I've measured across, and this bow is 47 inches long from nock to nock. So when I say from nock to nock, I mean I'm measuring down to right at the base of the nock here. So 47 inches. So what you want to do is locate 47 inches on your jig here. Now for long bows, meaning when the bow is strung, if the tips are back, so when the bow is strung, the profile looks like this, where the tips actually don't touch the string, meaning that the string doesn't wrap over the tips like it would. A recurve does that. So for a long bow or a lighter weight bow, you want to go down, and so we've got 47, so you want to go 1, 2, 3, and 3 down, 3 inches down, and that'll be about where you want your string to be. Now, because this is a recurve, meaning the string rests over the tip, you want to go down an extra inch, so 4 inches, just because the string is going to stretch a little bit more because the string is going to be under more tension. But what else is going to happen is that actually the brace height is a little different with recurves because part of the string is resting forward of the rest of the string, so your brace height's different. So basically you want to put your duplex nail down to that measurement. So here it was 47, 46, 45, 44. So at 43 inches, and then you want to put your nail about 2 inches away from that. Okay, so now that you've got that in order, we'll get started. So here's the starting end of the jig here. It's really simple. What you want to do is you want to just tie a simple overhand knot. So really simple. You see this little knot here. You just want to tie this around your nail. And all this is going to do is just hold it in place while you loop your string material around. Now, it's really simple. I'm going to pick up the camera here. All you want to do is you want to take your string material, bring it across to your other nail. You can see, just like that. Then you want to bring it back around, and then you want to bring it around the nail again. Now this is where you're gonna need to decide how many strands you want your string to be. And so generally the way I do it is, for bows under 30 pounds, I usually do 12 strands. And then for bows from about 30 to about 50 pounds, I'll do 14 strands. Then for bows heavier than that, I'll go 16 strands. And then the heaviest of bows I use, those that are about 90 or more pounds, I'll do 18 strands. But usually by about 18 strands, your string starts getting a little thick. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've got 5 strands running back and forth so far. So that means 10 loops, or 10 going back and forth. So 12, 13, 14. Okay, so now what you want to do, that if you look, you should have, now we should have 14 on either side. I mean 7 on either side. If you can see that, I've got 2 bundles of 7 string. So now what you want to do is you want to bring the strand to the end here, and you want to kind of do what you did on the other side. Is you want to go ahead and you want to tie an overhand knot. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut my string material, tie an overhand knot here, and then you want to pull it really tight. So this will just keep everything together. So now what we're going to do, now that we've got our string material together on the jig, I'm going to show you guys how to serve this to make your string loops, and then we're going to connect those together.